Hope you're doing good out there, and you go. I'm back with another live session on not really common time, maybe for life expect most of the time. At the moment outside and playing the guitar, but sometimes you of course changing programs for the love of it and more. So today I do that as well. And I'm back on the production that I started yesterday evening from the live session. And yeah, you are invited to enjoy that and more. Still working on the transmitting of my YouTube kind of why it's why I cannot put the sound from my Cubase kind of to your desktop or to your laptop, etc., etc. I have a good sound out of my speakers, but I think the sound gets recorded over the microphone on my Lenovo laptop, and this is the video on YouTube later on. So I'm still working on. There has to be, or there is somewhere, or should be a knob where I can translate my Cubase sound kind of one-to-one towards um, your desk as well. So you have kind of the same sound, what's out of my speakers, out of your speakers. Let's see about that. Where is the tool for it? I have to brain about it. I think it's a very interesting yeah interesting question and surrounding how to cable your mix buses, or how to do the audio equipment settings, how to set up your mixing desk, etc., etc., as well for broadcast and more. It's a very interesting spot, I think, where you really can brain about really structures and more. So somewhere that has the knob for it. Maybe it's the talkback section. Let's see about that. Let's see it in the video later on. If I plug the talkback. So yeah, so let's check out the composition I started yesterday. And like you see, I'm thinking about structures of composing. I posted a picture this morning to my Cubase. This is how the MIDI file looks on my, at the moment, composing system or style that I'm on, kind of. And now I do some versions and go over the composition by watching it and see what is possible. Just for myself, real quick. 1 2 1 2. Check out the talkback button in the video later on. See if there are some changes on my YouTube video later on. Talkback button in. And now put it out. Talkback in. Put it out again. Loop back in. Loop back out. No trim in. No trim out. See what went on. So here we are. I chose I think it's an 8 bar or 16 bar loop, and now go over the melody which I was playing on top of that. What is the singing melody, or should be the singing melody? Talk back in. So it is now comparing the old or the new with the old one. The thing is, I think at the end, if you do music and do a lot of tracks, it's not the question, or there is no question, um, the right way, maybe the wrong way, because on another track you will do it maybe different because you had a different the track before. So you always try to do, or at least yeah, I do most of the time. I'm searching maybe new points here and there, and so the every composition what you do is at the end great. If it sounds cool, go for it. But if you want to study it a bit, what really sounds better, or expect new things, of course you go more deep and deep in the structure and think about things, and this I think is the beauty about it. So I played chords in a direction of high low high low. um, you can say we have a chord structure of A B, and the mellow I played on top of that was in a structure of, I would say, just A, so it goes down one direction. And we have or receive a sound picture of crossing. Maybe it's not really hearable on a track. You don't expect now the melody phrase, but you I think if you have the results, of course you make a choice of, okay, this track sounds um, yeah, kind of more structured, or more brained about than the other one. So let's compare both versions. So I think the brained version sounds to me a bit more, yeah, well structured, if you like. So I think I will pick the A version or the last version. I've made another one. Yeah, genau, to go for a German word, exact the English one for it, if you like. We have different harmony schemes as well. So if we think about a structure, um, kind of high and low, of course there is another parameter to it. It says we have a three-step in it. So, and this is maybe another thought we can follow. Um, Put the melody in the same cadence like we have the chords. I speak from weight, um, in terms of harmony steps. So let's see about that, how it sounds if we put the mellow in the right weighting out and the same direction like we have our chords. And this is the third version of it. Let's go for let's go for let's go for here it is. The well balanced harmonic, if you like. And I think the difference we can hear it is the A version, the B version, and it gets more clear or it clears up. And this is what I think it's beautiful about it. Is a maybe a high secret, if you like, in music without want to speak too big. But I think the difference in it is beautiful. Now we have a version, and it sounds that overcoming. I think because that's well structured. Like yeah, now it's seems to fit really into the chord structure. Kind of now the picture is kind of fulfilled. So and you will receive an harmony or harmonic out of it that really comes by an overwhelming feeling, if you like, or a feeling of yeah, being overwhelmed, at least in my understanding and my feeling of things. now it has that overwhelmment, I think, in it, that you say, okay, this that I don't know if you can say it, but it's that it seems that perfect. The picture is now really right, balanced, right. And now it's the kind of, to me, it's the right way. It's the perfect way. It sounds really, really beautiful, at least in my understanding of things. So I learned from making or starting hip hop beats by the time when I was starting making music, how to, yeah, how to harmonize music. What is a rhythm? How to make a beat? I started on Fruity Loops back then. What is a 4-bar rhythm? This many years of trying out, setting kicks, making hi hats, etc., till the point, um, yeah, you peak things, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Some secrets I think you received from founding, from doing all the years, and this is now kind of a personal toolbox. What receives in an own picture of sound, of course, or in a specific, if you like, what you can say. Okay, this is something new, this is really an unique sound as far as are concerned, and this is what you search as an artist or as a musician, really to have something own. I think the digging out and figuring out and finding out the beauty of things, or of music, doing something own, um, besides what maybe it's out there. I think this is what you say. Okay, this is yeah. He can make radio hits and he make his own style. I think this is the beauty about it. So let's have a listen. Now we have some great chords. We have some mellow to it, and can build up more stuff. Of course, maybe if, like I said, if some want to use this, singer songwriter, labels, or even independent people, movies, commercial makers. My set card is always was or most of the time somewhere around my post. You're already invited to. Yeah, go with it. Um, have response on it. Take the melody, make it yours, etc., etc. Or I take it my own and play some, make an own track out of it. So it's open, public. It's under guard. It's all good. But a guitar on top of that would be maybe beautiful as well. Let's see about that. The beauty about it is the MIDI file is um, um, is sound changeable, so I can make this piano later on into a brass or into a string section if needed and wanted. There's a beauty about the MIDI file of it. You can put any instrument in this MIDI file. So let's see about that. Have a second of guidance. Grab me a second cup of water. So back with it. Cool to have that function, mic on, mic off. So it's possible to stream and make a little break if needed. Could go for an commercial sign-in kind of TV if you put down and screensaver kind of go for a break 5 minutes and then maybe go for an slogan or more if needed and wanted, and have to on the rear on this right um, on the right spot down on my flat screen would be cool to have a logo maybe. Let's see about that. Where's the black spot? Would be cool. You can put some in it, a sign in if wanted. Let's see about that. Why is always the black spot? I think it's about yeah, like I said, sometimes I'm coming with the camera to my YouTube or yeah, show up, but most of the time I'm doing music, and for me sometimes if you follow in the picture or the video of it, it's not really about the music anymore. So um, yeah, sometimes I'm showing up with the camera, but most of the time I think it's about music. This is what I'm doing. I'm proclaim. So if you want to see my person or more, there are videos and a lot of pictures um, which you can receive if you like on Facebook, Twitter, and more. Yeah, on my Cubase session. So I'm on a thought about doing a cool saving all the time. Um, Without later having maybe many days or yeah many hours later on about putting the whole project in its single pieces again and go for a structured saving. So a cool saving game, if you have your saving file or file saving proper as well, is I think it's a professional game or a professional sign as well. Kind of having the project, yeah, proper from your desktop. If your laptop gets crushed or your hard drive gets burned or yeah similar, you will save your files or have or saved your files. So let's see about that if this works out with the MIDI file. And then we go further with the drums, I think. like I said, I'm love to do that one line saving. You have the whole beat in one line, so that's cool for yeah, back it up again. We'll call it MIDI file one line. This, the cutting out of the samples. This is, I think this is a cool job later on if you back up the project um, and do an arrangement to it later on. MIDI file 2, one line. Mix 1. So let's see about that. We could do it analog as well. So let's have this one. Or just, yeah, bounce it analog. So, checking out the results later on. Um, I'm looking forward to it if the sound now from the live stream is different than it was before by putting the talkback and the loopback button. If the sound or the sound have a change now, if it's professional or more professional out of your speakers as well or in the video. Let's see about that. So call it one line. And put it somewhere, maybe on the upper side or on the top of the instrumental. See about that. Big beat drums from my Groove Agent 1. Yeah, sounds, of course, sounds new school. Maybe go for a changing or an yeah, like in an hip English pimping of the drums later on. Keep them up to date, kind of make some new out of it. This is how I get the word. kind of make it, bring some new to the table, figure out some new kind of. Let's see about that. Okay, yeah, before we start with drums, I did a quantization of the loop. What is quantization? Explained it early on. You bring on the loop more into the time phrase in terms of having latency problems most of the time by electricity, computer CPU response. So it's possible that in this whole electricity and computer environment, at the recording process, you have little milliseconds in it that really the equipment, of course, take response on the electricity. So it says I think in audio they say, or we say, millis or latency problems. So some of these loops sometimes it's not really right on time. So you could play more loops to it, of course, or you want to do the fast way. Sometimes you use the quantization. There is on the right side of it, if you follow in my mouse, MIDI. It says, I don't know why it's not popping up. Maybe cool for an futurist or a future gimmick. Um, Popping up the or and popping up of the folder sections. Like I said, like the plugins. I think if you open up the plugins, it's not they don't do a screening of it. Like I think the folder as well misses the popping up. So maybe, I don't know, want to step on toes, but maybe cool for the future, having some updates to it if needed and wanted. So so quantization, I quantize the loop a bit. 116 is good in the starting point of the loop. I don't do a quantization so far at the end of the loop because if you play an instrument, you have to of course you make it quite kind of. It's like a gate. Let this section, or I spared this section out so far because I want to keep it natural as possible. If you do too much quantization, it's hard to, I think, to do an track with vocals. It should have a natural flow to it, at least to me, that you say, okay, this is someone I can or expect he plays the guitar and the keyboard player, etc., etc. So I go with 70% most of the time of it. This is a good balance for me. 70% is kind of go for it Monday to Friday and have a weekend kind of 5 to 5 days. Um, do your thing, and 2 days take a bit out kind of. Etc. Etc. 70%, 73%. I think is a good. To me, is a good rule for everything. So I go with this. It's not too over distorted. It's not too underrated. Just kind of do your thing till Thursday evening and take out from Friday, Saturday, Sunday a bit, and then go in it Monday to Thursday evening until you really say, okay, now weekend should be a good um, and good um, choosing out of things, kind of. How to save him now? Go in a bit of a quiet phase of the video, couple of couple of seconds, or yeah, a time and to think about it. To enjoy the music and more. Talk back out, loop back in. Talk back in again. Well, this is something to let it tea a bit later on. Let's have the music its place, and listen to it later on. I think take your time is a good thing, or at least I can take my time at the moment to go more deep in the structure as well of music producing. Found my way, or have my way, really to go more professional to it. Traveled a lot, and yeah, built me up a lot. Just what I learned so far is something you really do yourself. You have to come to that point that people say, "Oh, hey, this sounds good." I think, and this is where it starts, where you really make a life out of it, where respect comes in. That people say, "Hey, this guy can do beautiful music," or that this guy makes beautiful music for us. So you get respect, and this respect, of course, um, let money come in at the end. This is it's very simple. Someone who makes good apples will receive clients, and this is, I think, is the same in music. Besides thinking about money, um, from beginning, I think music is something that comes to your life, or art, or any kind of profession, that you say, this is what I want to do in my life. This is what gives me sense in my life to go for it and follow it, um, to the point you become a professional, to the point you become and respected man for his handcraft, or woman, or etc. etc. So, and this is at music the same. I think I reached a point slowly but surely, and I do a lot of commercial, of course, in exclamation mark commercial. I'm showing a lot up at the public, and so if you show up a lot in the public with your handcraft, people recognizes it and say, "Hey, this is an yeah, and respected man in our society for having his handcraft." Like I said, like the um, apple seller, or the shoemaker is doing it, or the bakery who serves great yeah, pretzels or cake. And this is, I think, in music the same. Takes many years, of course, to show up in public, by get your vision ready, to say, hey, I'm reached a point now to say, hey, I can show up in public. I'm satisfied with that. What I'm gonna do, it sounds cool to me to say, hey, I can go in public and be satisfied, or do my thing as a yeah, like as an employee, kind of. You found your job, or your giving out what makes sense in your life, to pass it to others, and you yeah, you get your track done, kind of. And this is a very, yes, a lovely thing, I think. Let's go for maybe some more rhythms, just for the love out of it. That is something we have to decide by time, I think. Let's tease a bit. Or let time pass by. So I think last minutes of my life, then I will go in a break with it. 15 minutes of sending. Now it's about, like I said, let now time a bit pass and go with some, I always say, fresh ears to the instrumental and go from there. It's now about to analyze what we have, I think, chord and melody wise, and go from there to build now the house of it. Kind of, we have now the fountain, the basement, and now it's about yeah, to pick the instrumental, which direction the instrumental should go, what kind of sound we will receive, or song we will receive maybe out of it. So I think this is a cool drum loop so far. Let's go for a quick quantization of the loop. Noch ein paar Worte auf Deutsch. Nochmal hier den Loop quantisieren, um einfach mal kurz auszutesten, bevor ich ja, Pause mache oder in die Pause gehe sozusagen. Was möglich ist, ein paar Ideen festhalten. Collective ideas. to set up drums, we have to analyze now what the loop really have and proclaiming kind of. We can now jam a lot of things to it, but really what makes sense on a I would say a radio instrumental or and song um, to sing to kind of and well structured beat, if you like. Not to overload the track now. Yeah, let's see about that. Like I said, go on a break now. And for more, stay tuned if you like. Mehr davon in Kürze, wer mag. Have a great day and the globe. Bye bye.